Hello, welcome to this grammar hour class on verb. We are going to learn about the verb in the context of transitive and intransitive verb. So we are not going to the basic principles, definitions of verb here. We are going to learn about transitive and intransitive verb in this class. But let's recall what is a verb. It is a word that tells about the noun, the action of the noun, the position of the noun, the state of being of the noun. So it tells something about a person or a thing, which is a noun. So the verb comes immediately after the subject and says something about that subject. Okay. Now, what comes after the verb also speaks about the verb. And this verb, when it passes that action or state of being to another thing or person, it is known as transitive verb. So, in another words, if I have to say, if the verb answers to the questions like what, who, then it is transitive verb. Let's go to an example. In your big page number 49, the learn box, this transitive and intransitive verb is explained in the first para. And the example given there, you see, she admired the teacher. So the verb admired is not completing the sentence. She admired. She admired what? She admired who? Here, the object is the teacher. She admired who? The teacher. So that is why this is transitive verb. If there is no object after the verb, if there is an adverb or adverbial phrase, prepositional phrase, then it is not a transitive verb. Now next example also see the vendor signed a contract. The vendor signed what? A contract. So what, where, whom, if it is mentioned, it is a transitive verb. Because the action passes over to something else. So when the action is passed over, okay, when it ends with the verb and the subject itself, then the verb is intransitive. So simply in other words we can say the transitive verb has object and the intransitive verb does not have an object. Okay. Now let's see some example for intransitive verb. The classmates sang wonderfully. The classmates sang. Sang a song, nothing else it could be. He sang. Finished. Wonderfully is an adverb. there's no object. So this is a intransitive verb. Similarly, he spoke loudly at the meeting. That's an adverbial phrase after the verb, but no object. He spoke. Okay. He spoke. That's what will not mention. He spoke, that's all. Before he died, he spoke. You may have heard what he spoke, but may not have heard. But he spoke. He spoke. I speak. The sentence is complete. There is no need of object. There are some verbs like this: arrive, die, fall, go, laugh, sleep, okay, smile, stay, which are used as intransitive verbs. They are mostly intransitive. They don't need object. Okay. But if you want, you can add. For example, like normally, when these intransitive verbs are used in passive voice, they will have object. He was laughed at by his friends. So, if you want, like, use these intransitive verbs with object, you can use passive voice. But there are some transitive verbs which also can be used without objects. He paints very well. That example is given in the exercise B. So exercise A you can do in the book, also just circle or underline. Exercise B I will do it. See the number 1. Reena paints a picture. This is a transitive verb. Paints what? A picture. The same transitive verb can be used without an object. Reena paints very well. An adverb is used, but there is no object. So, a verb can be used both transitively and intransitively. That is the point given the top of the page 50. Okay. Then when this object is used in transitive verb, there can be direct and indirect objects. That's the third and last point you need to remember.